Good evening, Sierra Leone. Good evening, Kono District. Good evening to all the Kono Pikin that were in Sierra Leone, the Sierra Leoneans that were in the diaspora, and everybody, any side you find yourself in the globe, this Teladu they come for now. I also want to send a special Teladu to executives of Kono organizations, ECHO, the entire membership, and all other Kono groups them, where they fight very hard for bring sanity in the Kono District and inside Sierra Leone as well. I want to also tell thank you to una who don't subscribe to this channel. I encourage una continue for watch we, una provide una comments them, una give we ideas that we go make we push this channel go before. But today I want to tell una say I the co-host with another vibrant Salon Pikin when I cannot pick him back. We say they put in voice out every time we get concerned about what they go on at Sierra Leone. We are the host of Frank Talk, we then call Kpakoi Frank Talk. And we get another guest, we self get for can Rob Mott Small pan road safety, road transportation concerns in Sierra Leone. Then we get for look at various areas and whether privatization can able help we, not go able help we, and what we for do for augment government in support. So before I go further, I go ask my first guest for let introduce himself. Go ahead, my brother.
Hi everyone, it's really a pleasure coming on this platform. My name is E.S.K. I'm the founder of Ideate 60 Limited, a Nigerian-based consultancy that has been operating in Nigeria on consultancy, engineering, especially. At the moment, we are looking at how we can bridge innovative companies with communities in that are facing challenges. Thank you once again for bringing me on board on this platform.
You're very, very welcome. Yes, my noble doctor.
Good evening, followers. My name is Dr. Chief Henry, Dr. Henry Kpakoi Frank Talk, online TV and radio. Also affiliate member on the Golden Cat Consultancy. Thank you both for having me today. Let me start by framing the challenges and opportunity for far too long on transportation across our country, Sierra Leone, the Mano River Union, Sierra Leone, the Mano River Union, the ECOWAS region.
Hello. We will come to that. I just needed you to introduce yourself to the audience. We'll come to those things before you go.
Carry on.
And
carry on.
Start with you.
Carry on.
Yeah, I will start with you, Dr. Kpakoi. How would you describe the current conditions of road transport in Sierra Leone today? Tell we people them what's in the road condition them inside Salon today.
Me farm them. Na Salon. We get too much issue on road conditions. Majority of route planning, the roads are better. But maintenance culture are the problem. And the road condition, even though the maintenance they get from petrol, they buy petroleum products, they buy petrol and road maintenance from when I call a road maintenance from when I responsible they not carry out their work, for repair the ordinary pothole, series of accidents with several lives and they lost because they not maintain them recently last week, this morning we get serious accident where we lost about 5 days ago we lost 7. Last week we lost about another 8 just on the same spot for this pothole. So road conditions, majority of the places where people they come out with agriculture products them. Most time we get people the way that they come from well body business, the road is challenging, especially rainy season. And during the dry season, those roads it's terrible. And they just the patch am by people they not qualify for do the road engineering. They just they offer them and nobody don't know which criteria then they pass through for do them roads because the same roadway that they make 2 days after that, the same problem more lives they lost and life in Sierra Leone. So that now one.
Yeah, so I want to see if Ime gets any question for ask you for. Let we continue. Yes, Ime.
Yes, I do. Okay, so I'm going to come from the angle of Sierra Leone on the move, as Iran tries to navigate challenges and season opportunities in commercial bus transportation. So I guess my first question to Henry could you kindly briefly describe your experience as a bus operator in Sierra Leone? And following up to that, just kindly give us an idea of the kind of buses and vehicles that are being used to operate intercity travel.
Thank you very much. Right now, the system is fractured on roads. We have keke, we have okadas, and unregulated buses dominating with frequent accidents or incidents, incomplete routes, meta seat, and no customer care. The Sierra Leone Road Transport Corporation, which is responsible to take our people and goods from one place to another, shift to regulatory left the vacuum filled by the unions without a skill to manage or revenue. So such gap causes a lot problems and burden on our citizens. At the moment, we have the worker fine buses, which is the Tata buses, the intercity buses. At the moment, we have the Poda, which are meta-seated with no leg rooms, and they are not doing the full route. In the morning when they have high volume of passenger flowing from students to all walks of life that are essential to be on duties. They cannot have the opportunity to be there on time because these unprofessional drivers and their co-drivers don't have even the manners for customer care, thinking about standard or quality measures. They will start asking that we are not going to that destination, but we are going halfway. And this have been a behavior. So transportation system is dire need for people, and a lot are suffering abuse, especially the students, the women, the elderly. And nowhere to complain, no solution. The government department that is responsible to do that job for the citizen have changed their own obligation not to manage the transport system, but they went on to assign themselves to be the regulatory body. And if you be a regulatory body for government department or parastatals, who are you expecting to run that professionally? And people are not trained. Drivers are not trained. So a lot of issues on the road and punishment. A lot for our people to apply on the road and punishment for our people to apply. So we have series of different types of buses, especially one of the main credible, especially one of the main credible is the Sierra Service Transportation in Sierra Leone. Transportation in Sierra Leone. that is the only credible institution that is managing so that it is affordable for the people, and they are onto building up to rebrand for standards, in order to be at the target which we are looking for. But apart from that, the keke, which is the three-wheeler, which is a three-wheeler, another form of transport, also another form of transport. All of this which is called the Okada, which is called these are all flying, but no control measures. But no control measures. They all have unions. Those unions are problematic. They are not even responsible for their members, and they are not even responsible for the passenger care. So if you take your vehicle, you have an issue with them to sort things out, because they don't actually account to the government, and they are not under any institution. So it's a bad experience.
Okay, that's fine. All right. Okay, that's fine. Thank you, Henry, for that. I think David, you might want to follow up. No?
Let me ask you this, Dr. Kpakoi. How serious is the issue of untrained drivers and irregular driver's license issuance?
Untrained drivers are like killers which are not regulated. Any driver that sits behind the wheel without going through the proper driving skills or the driving procedure to acquire your license is a big problem. It's a big problem. It's a risk to public safety. You have those guys that are being with the drivers who haven't even gone through their proper driving training skills. They'll be driving all sorts of vehicles on the road, whether it's safe or it is not safe, and taking passengers because of money's sake. No regulatory on them, no customer care, and they are adamant and rude to any stakeholders that attempt to tell them that your skills for driving, you need improvement. And since there is no system, there is no system to regulate them, there is no system they can go through, and shortage of buses, transportation. So even if you take a metal body with wheels people will still go and board on it. That's the only solution in order to move goods for business, to go to school for education, to go for their medical care, and even with the police and the soldiers, not enough transportation to take them. They have to manage what is there around their community. So the risk at which our people have in traveling into these dangerous vehicles is so high in Sierra Leone.
Okay, so let me give you a follow-up question before Emmy can come in. So what role do speeding, overloading, and vehicle roadworthiness play in fatal accidents?
When the vehicle is not supposed to be on the road. That's one big answer for it. And if a trained driver is not trained, hasn't got the proper license, hasn't gone through the proper procedure, it's not supposed to drive that vehicle. And most of the vehicles, again, we are talking about also another certification to make you certified to be on the road. Is the insurance. How many vehicles are there that have proper insurance that are flying on the roads in our country? There's a lot of challenges. Yeah.
Is government taking any actions to remedy those situations?
First of all, the institutions that are there are trying. You have the the traffic police of the Sierra Leone police are trying their best. You have the SLRA, which is the safety agent. They have policing uh, staff on the road that wanted keep the to road safe. keep But the one thing road I can safe. say is But one thing I can say is familiarization politics familiarization is politics spoiling our country. is spoiling Even when our country. somebody is in the Even when wrong, somebody is in endangering the the wrong, life, endangering doing the life, the things doing against the the health and things safety, against the instead health of and going safety, through proper
instead of going
procedure
through
for
proper procedure for
account punishing them through the law, because of politics, interference, it's difficult for the police to act properly. And familiarization, oh, this is my relative, oh, this is or my somebody relative, from high or above somebody can from call them and high threaten them,
above can
you
call
know.
them
If
and
you try
threaten
to
them,
go strictly
you
by
know.
the rules
If
of
you try to go
engagement, then
strictly
you
by
have
the
a
rules of
problem.
engagement,
And that
then you have
problem
a
will
problem.
end up with you not having promotion
And
or
that problem
demotion,
will end up
or
with
most
you
they will
not
sack
having
you from your
promotion or
duty.
demotion.
So
So
implementation in Sierra
implementation
Leone
in
is
Sierra
the
Leone is
problem.
the problem.
Laws are
Laws
there.
are there.
Laws are
Laws
there
are
to
there to
international
international
standards.
standards.
But law
But law
implementers
implementers
are weak,
are weak,
I can
I
say.
can say.
And
And
so
so
the
the
Let's give chance to Eme to ask the next question.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank
So
you.
you've
So
covered
you have
quite a
covered
few
quite a
challenges.
few
You've covered
challenges. You have
really in
covered
depth.
really in depth.
So what I want to look at, I
So
just
what I
want
want to look
to
at, I
touch
just
on
want
one or two
to touch
more
on one or two
challenges
more
before
challenges
I look
before
at
I look at
opportunities. Okay.
opportunities.
So
Okay.
in terms of
So in terms of
operational difficulties
operational
you encountered
difficulties you
as a
encountered
bus
as a
operator,
bus operator,
how do you think
how do
the
you
fuel
think the
cost
fuel
impacted
cost
on operations?
impacted on
That's one.
operations? That's one.
Vehicle breakdowns as well.
Vehicle
Two.
breakdowns as well. Two.
And then also competition
And then also
from
competition from
operators
informal operators
amongst those that are actually
those
operating at
that
the
are
time.
actually operating at the time.
So and safety concerns as well
And
for
safety concerns
passengers
as
and
well for
drivers. If you want me
passengers
to
and
recap
drivers.
anything,
If you
let
want
me
me to
know.
recap
But
anything, let me know.
you can go ahead and tell us.
Tell us.
the failure
The
stemmed
failure
from
stemmed from two
key issues.
key
First,
issues.
the
First, the
SLRE
SLRE
was asked to
was asked to
What's the
switch from
SLR, if you don't mind, for other viewers?
SLRTC is the Sierra
SLRTC is
Leone
the
Road
Sierra Leone Road
Transport Corporation
Transport
that
Corporation
is
that is
responsible to move
responsible to move
people or
people
goods
or
from one
goods
place
from one
to
place
another.
to another. Okay.
And their
And their
duty
duty
have been
have
ignored.
been
So
ignored.
therefore, they shift from their
So
duty to
therefore,
a
they
new
shift
role
from
which they
their
want
duty
to
to
be
a new role
operating
which they want
services,
to
to
be
regulate,
operating
you know,
services,
to regulate the
you know,
industry with no
the
proper
industry
steps
with no
into
proper
filling the
steps
services gap,
into filling
but
the
lack of
services gap,
expertise
but
in
lack
fleet
of
management,
expertise in
safety
fleet
compliance,
management,
or
safety
revenue
compliance, or
accountability,
revenue
leading to
accountability, leading
the
to
unqualified
the
people running
unqualified
critical
people running
service.
critical
You see,
service.
so that's
You
why
see,
we, the
so that's
boarding
why
car
we, the boarding
transportation, we
car
work
transportation, we work
with the
with the
Sierra Star
with
to
the Sierra
rebuild
Star to
with
rebuild
regulatory
with
capacity,
regulatory
providing
capacity,
training
providing
and
training
system to
and
monitor
system
standards
to
across all
monitor
operators.
standards across
We will also establish
all
a
operators.
regional transport
We
council
will also
with
establish a
representative
regional transport
from Mano
council
River
with
countries
representative
to
from Mano
align with the
River
rules across the
countries
border, to align with the
traveling
rules
vehicle
across the
safety,
border and fair
traveling
structures.
vehicle safety and fair
This way,
structures.
we are not
This
replacing
way,
institutions.
we are not
We are
replacing
strengthening them to
institution.
create a
We are
framework
strengthening
that
them to
works for
create a framework
everyone.
that works for
Okay, but
everyone.
how about the fuel cost? How
Okay,
about fuel cost?
but
How
how
does it
about the
impact on
fuel cost? How
operations
about fuel cost?
and
How does it impact on
vehicle
operations
breakdowns as
and
well? And as I
vehicle
also asked,
breakdowns as
competition
well?
from
And as I also
operators among
asked, competition
themselves
from
and safety concerns
operators
for
among
passengers
themselves and safety concerns for
and the
passengers
drivers.
and the drivers.
Well, of all other
Well, of all other
operational people that are there
operational
at the
people
private
that are there at
sectors,
the private
they are
sectors,
like cowboys,
they are like
operational
cowboys,
people.
operational
people. It's a private-owned
with
vehicle
no regulation.
with
Because
no
if you have one
regulation.
or two
Because
or
if you
five
have one or
vehicles,
two or five vehicles, maintenance schedule is only when they
maintenance
break
schedule is
down.
only when they break
But
down.
we still start
But we still
transportation,
start
which we
transportation,
are
which
working with
we are
closely
working
to
with
rebrand
closely
this.
to rebrand
They
this.
are more professional.
They
We
are
serve
more
several
professional. We
fleets
serve
into
several
their
fleets
capacity.
into their capacity.
So with that, they have
So
a
with that,
recovery
they have
schedules,
a recovery
breakdown
schedules,
schedules, breakdown
they have
schedules.
a garage,
They have
they
a
have a
garage.
fuel
They
depot.
have a
So
fuel depot.
everything which
So
it takes to
everything
do
which it
maintenance
takes to do
culture,
maintenance
to do
culture,
driver
to do
training,
driver
customer
training,
cares,
customer
you name it,
cares, you name it.
they have
They have
the
the
they have
opportunity,
the
the
institution.
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 So it is
So
just
it is
bringing them
just
to
bringing them to
international standard,
international
which we will do
standard,
in order
which we
to
will
focus
do
ourselves
in order
to
to focus
digitalize
ourselves to
all of their
digitalize
operations, from
all of
revenue
their
collection,
operations, from revenue
safety check,
collections, safety
maintenance
check,
schedules,
maintenance
accident
schedules,
reporting,
incident reporting,
health and
incident
safety,
reporting, health and
drivers
safety, drivers
monitoring, and
monitoring, and
etc.
etc.
So that's the
So
only institution
that's
I
the
can
only
proudly say
institution I can
it
proudly
is
say
there
it is
and
there and
open
it is
for
open for
um, making it big
making it big
for international
for
hub
international
of
hub of
synergy within the West
synergy
African
within the
region
West
countries
African region
to operate
countries
in a
to
single hub
operate in a
and
single
can
hub
be linked
and can be
into
linked
the
into
air, the
the
sea
air, the
service, and
sea
also the
service,
land
and
service
also
in
the
Sierra
land
Leone.
service in Sierra
They have
Leone.
the
They have
capacity,
the
they
capacity,
have
they
also
have
the
also
foundation
the
where we
foundation
can build
where we
on.
can build
But
on.
apart from that,
But apart from
it's
that,
a big
it's a
challenge.
big
You
challenge.
having
You
those
having those
fleet of
fleet
vehicles,
of
you have a
vehicles, you
problem
have
with
a
the
problem with
union,
the
the
union,
drivers
the
union,
drivers union,
the Okada
the
union,
Okada union,
the
the
Keke union.
Keke union.
They see you as a threat, and there are certain area
They
when you
see
park, they say, no, 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 don't park here,
you
don't
as a
operate
threat.
here. And
And
who
there
are
are certain
they
area when you
to
park, they say,
put rules
to
when the
put
government
rules
institution
when the
is there?
government
They are
institution is
very
there.
violent,
They are
and they are
very violent,
discouraging other
and they are
investors.
discouraging
If
other
you don't go
investors if you
with
don't
the
go
proper
with the proper
planning to work with the
planning to
Ministry
work with
of
the
Transport,
Ministry of
to work
Transport,
with the
to
police
work
and
with
other
the
security
police and
agents,
other security
then it will be
agents,
difficult for you
then it will be
alone to
difficult
launch it.
for you
But if
alone
you
to
go
launch it.
through
But if
the
you go
government
through the government
then
apparatus,
the
then
chances for you
the chances
to
for you
grow
to
and you
grow
have
and
as the
you
sky
have
to be
as
your
the
limit
sky to be your
is
limit
virgin
is
in Sierra Leone
virgin
to do
in Sierra Leone
transportation
to do
because the
transportation
fleet are not
because
enough.
the fleet are not
So
enough.
people are
So people
using
are
dangerous
using
vehicles on the
dangerous
road. How
vehicles on
can
the
you
road.
take those
How can
dangerous
you take those
vehicles
dangerous
when you don't have
vehicles when you
replacement?
don't have
So
replacement?
everybody leave
So
them alone
everybody leave them
because if you
alone
take them
because
off,
if you
there
take
will
them
be
off,
nothing to
there will be
replace.
nothing to replace.
So only
So
investors
only
can invest
investors can invest
wherein there is no
wherein there is
loss.
no
It's
loss.
a win-win
It's a win-win
situation because you
situation
don't
because
depend
you
on
don't
government
depend on
money.
government
You
money.
depend
You
on your
depend on
customer
your
money,
customer
and
money.
the customer
And the
demand is
customer
to have
demand is
more
to
fleet,
have more fleet,
more routes
more
open to
routes
them
open to
for
them
their
for their
businesses,
businesses,
for their
for their
day-to-day
day-to-day
activities.
activities. You know.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thanks so much. Okay, David, over to you.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much, Eme. And I want to follow up with that. You did talk about unions quite a while in your answers there. But what is the real responsibility commercial transport unions have in relation to these problems that we have?
In the first
In the first
place, thank
place,
you, David. In the
thank you,
first
David.
place, this
In the
institution
first
they
place,
call
this
themselves as
institution
a
they call
transport
themselves as a
union.
transport
The
union,
Okada,
the Okada
the
union,
Keke
the
union
Keke
are there
union
to
are
harass
there
the
to harass
drivers,
the
the
drivers, the
riders
riders
for revenue
for revenue
collections.
collections.
They can even
They can
take
even
your
take your
bikes, your
bikes, your
vehicle, your
vehicle,
Keke
your
from you if
keke
you
from you
refuse
if you
to
refuse
pay
to
their
pay
ticket
their
money.
ticket
And
money.
this
And
money
this
is on the
money is on the
increase. It's
increase.
putting it a
It's putting it a
burden on the
burden on
riders,
the
the drivers
riders,
to
the drivers
increase
to
their
increase
fares.
their fares.
And so
And so
transportation is very
transportation is very
expensive in Sierra
expensive in
Leone.
Sierra Leone.
When you ask what are they doing with this money? One, they are not directly under government. They are collecting this money for their own personal use. When the driver have a problem, or the bike rider have a problem, they don't even give representation at the police. They don't even give lawyers to represent them in court. So majority of these guys, the young guys, they are educated, they are graduated from the university. They created their own job as a self-employed job on this Okada. But when they have problems, a lot of them are behind bars because of driving license. A lot of them are behind bars just because they don't have good representation, and they are poor, and they have families to look after. They have houses, they have rent to pay. So it is unfair for a member to pay for it don't due for membership that you can protect them, you can give them support, and when needed there is no support from these people. So there is no need for them to have a union.
Okay, so let me give you a follow-up question. How does corruption, whether it is real or perceived, affect road safety enforcement?
Corruption in any way is not in our agenda. We cannot encourage it. We cannot be skillful. Keep corruption in our country is too high. There is big corruption from top to bottom. So road safety corruption is high because anytime you pass by, there is a corruptive activities going on. They are not hiding it. You can see corruption things undermine the safety. Drivers, riders that don't have proper documentation can go, but when they have accident, then there is a problem with that thing because of the accident that is happening, and those things are not good for our country. Because if you stop that rider when they don't have the proper documentation, you have saved lives. But because of corruption, they will let them go, and they will go on killing people on the road, and that is not good. So corruption is in the increase, and we have institutional corruption, which is the mere disease for our country.
Okay, thank you very, very much. Back to you, Emmy.
Okay, all right, thank you very much for that. Okay, so now I'm looking to the aspect of opportunities. We looked at so many challenges and shifting gear out to opportunities. Okay, so Henry, based on your experience as a operator, now what practical improvements do you think could significantly enhance intercity bus services in Sierra Leone? Now let me give you some examples. Better buses, route scheduling, ticketing systems, partnerships. Just from your perspective, what do you think?
Well, to be sincere, the problem in Sierra Leone is varies. It's virgin. It's a blind business. You put your hand into investment into transportation in Sierra Leone. It's a win-win situation. I can confirm that. In the first place, I am not a bus operator. I'm a consultant in transportation.
Okay.
You know. Yeah. So take a student in Kenema who needs to get to Freetown, for example. Right now, they might pay three times the fare. A working adult pays. Take a bus that only goes halfway. Then have to find another ride. Arriving late, or an elderly person in Bow might avoid medical appointment because the journey is uncomfortable and unreliable. In cross-border areas, traders loses days of business waiting at customs with no
customs
clear rules.
with no clear rules.
Equity is central because transportation is a basic human right.
transportation is a basic human
Without
right.
it,
Without it,
people can't
people can't
without it, people
without
can't
it,
access
people can't
educational
access education,
healthcare, and economic
and economic
opportunities. That's why
opportunities.
we're
That's why
building dedicated
we're
student
building
buses
dedicated
with
student
50%
buses
discount,
with 50%
priority
discount,
seating for the
priority
elderly,
seating for
a fixed
the
route,
elderly,
and
a
cover the
fixed
full
route,
journey.
and cover the full
We are
journey.
also working to keep
We are
fares
also working to
affordable
keep fares
by cutting
affordable
waste
by cutting
from
waste
malpractices.
from malpractices.
Every Leone
Every
saved
Leone
on
saved
theft
on theft
or inefficient
or
goes back
inefficient goes
to
back to
reducing costs for
reducing costs
passengers.
for passengers.
With that,
With that,
once there is a system
what
being
there is a
put in place,
system being put in
filtration
place,
system, auditing
filtration
system,
system,
electronic
auditing
payment
system,
system like the
electronic
POS
payment system like
that
the
can
POS
curtail
that can
the theft
curtail
system or
the
malpractices,
theft
which
system or
money
malpractices,
which should go
which
directly to the bank will
money
not be
which
in the
should go
hands
directly
of
to the bank will not be in the hands
the
of
corrupt
the
workers or
corrupt
staff.
workers
So
or staff.
we are looking at
So we are
digitalizing,
looking at
we are
digitalizing,
looking at
we are
centralizing
looking at
so that we
centralizing
can
so that we
operate
can
and
operate
if we have
and
buses
if we have
on hired
buses
or
on
loan,
hired or loan,
from international
from
countries,
international
we can pay
countries,
those
we
loans
can pay
without
those loans
fare
without
because
fare because
there is a best
there is
way
a
of
best
revenue
way of
generation
revenue
in Sierra Leone.
generation in Sierra Leone.
But without control
But
measures
without
in
control
place,
measures in place,
then just give
then
it up.
just
But
give
with
it up. But with
strict control
strict
measures,
control measures,
training,
training,
then the world is
the
open
world is
for
open for
transportation. There is
transportation.
no
There is no
given time
given
that
time
nobody
that
travels
nobody
around the
travels
country.
around the country.
But less
But
buses, less
less buses, less
transportation,
transportation,
more
more
costly on
costly
the road to
on
pay
the
higher
road to pay higher
transportation because of
transportation because of
um,
um,
deliberate increase in
deliberate
fuel,
increase in fuel,
deliberate increase
deliberate
in
increase in
union
union
dues,
dues,
deliberate increase
deliberate
in
increase in
payment on
corruptive
the roads.
payment on the
If
roads.
all of
If
these can be
all of these
taken
can
away,
be taken
transportation
away,
will be easier
transportation
in
will
Sierra
be
Leone
easier
as
in
far
Sierra
as
Leone
it is
as far as
available.
it is available. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, David. Okay, David.
Yeah, so Dr. Kpakoi, what safeguards are needed to protect national interests and prevent exploitation?
Well,
Well,
we are adapting
we
to
are
best
adapting to
practices
best
from the
practices from
United
the
Kingdom
United
Driving
Kingdom
and Vehicle
Driving
Standard
and Vehicle
Agency,
Standard Agency.
for training and
For
safety
training
check.
and safety check.
Even in
Even
Nigeria,
in
experience
Nigeria,
with
experience
with former
former
transportation
transportation
integration to
integration
work
to
with
work
existing
with existing
operators.
operators.
For
For
CAR
sea air
service,
service.
we are
We are
aligning with
aligning with
international
international
air
air
services
services
or transport
or transport
associations
association
and
and
international
international
maritime
maritime
organization standard.
organization standard.
To keep it
To keep it
affordable, we
affordable,
are
we are
investing or
investing or
seeking for
seeking
investor for
investor for
efficient
efficient
system
system
like digital
like digital
booking
booking
to cut
to cut
agents
agents
costs
costs
and bulk
and bulk
purchasing
purchasing
of
of
vehicle
vehicle
to reduce
to reduce
maintenance
maintenance
expensive.
expensive.
Sustainability
Sustainability
comes first.
comes first.
So if we are
So if
looking
we are
at it,
looking at it,
training local
training
staff
local
to
staff
run
to
all
run all
system,
system,
so we
so
are
we
not
are not
relying on
relying on international
contractors for
contractors
long
for long
term.
term.
Using
Using
revenue
revenue
from
from
commercial
commercial
cargo
cargo
service
service
to
to
subsidize
subsidize
passenger
passenger
fares,
fares,
establishing
establishing
a
a
maintenance hub
maintenance hub
that will serve the entire region, creating jobs and reducing costs. All of these things can be achieved by a proper system, proper rules, and support from the government. Investors are willing. Investors will be willing to come because they will not lose their money. Investors will not afraid to lend any transportation system which is rebranded and be trained by the Golden Cat Transportation Consultancy. You have a bigger chance to have loans in order to capacitate yourself in improving the routes and improving the time people spend on the road just to get to work and to get to home safely. Thank you.
Okay. So, do you think there's any economic cost of road accidents to the nation?
Well, now exiting drivers and operators are not the problem. The unregulated system is we are offered union members priority access to our training program. And if you go through those training of quality, of standard, then the accidents on the road will be reduced, like driving hours, rest period, no taking of narcotic drugs or alcohol. All of this monitoring should be in place. And when achieved properly, road accidents will be reduced. If the Sierra Leone Road Authority carry out their road maintenance schedule, then there will be more safety on the roads. And we are looking into comfort, ride, into safety, ride, even when you have breakdown, there should be an immediate action being taken place. Passengers should not be roaming around the highway. It's unsafe for them. But immediately you have a breakdown, you have a recovery vehicle, and you have replacement bus, to take the passenger to their final destination. This is our aims and objective. This is the reason why. And rebranding is necessary. Rebranding the training is necessary. To follow by in the country. For safety in the country. Achievement for road transport users.
Okay, Ime, go.
Okay, so still on opportunities. What partnerships do you think are available? So when I'm talking about partnerships. I'm talking about partnerships, if these operations in Sierra Leone, other operators from the West African sub-region, the wider African region, from the world region, and as a follow-up to that, if there are any opportunities, and as a follow-up to that, if there are any opportunities like for partnerships, in Sierra Leone, do you think are more lucrative? Is it the eastern, the southern province? Which is it the eastern, the southern province? Which the greatest opportunity for growth? For greatest opportunity for growth in Sierra Leone, for bus connectivity in Sierra Leone.
Thank you very much, Amen. Thank you for asking that question. In Sierra Leone, we have two systems of operative procedures. We have the city transportation system, and the city transportation system. All routes are viable. Now we have the provincial transportation system. The provincial transportation system. All routes are viable because it's pre-booking. You're selling your ticket before you board on for the journey to your destination. And most of the roads, apart from the potholes, majority of the routes so are good. Thinking of So wear and tear on bad roads, wear and tear on bad roads, on the major routes where we are applying to. So if you're thinking about lucrative routes, every route is lucrative. For example, from Freetown to Kono, from Freetown to Bo, from Freetown to Kenema, from Freetown to Makeni, Freetown to Kabala, the Gambia axis is there, Port Local is there, you know, Bump is there, Moyamba is there, Pujon is there. You have Kailam district, next border to Guinea and Liberia. You know, it's a lot viable routes. One is only the affordability of buses. We have 16 routes for provincial, and it's not only one or two buses. You know, on each of the routes, four buses. It's not even sufficient. Six buses per route. It's not even sufficient. In the city, of course, 200 buses is not enough to run Freetown City efficiently. So there is a dire need for investors to invest in Sierra Leone as far as is in consonant with the Ministry of Transport and the security apparatus. They will be helping. They will make sure that we operate freely without any harassment.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Okay, David.
Okay. Dr. Kpakoi, how does unsafe transport discourage tourism and foreign investment?
First of all, tourism is a broader term for strangers, for visitors coming. Some visitors come with their main aim to explore culture and tradition. So depending on which stories we are looking at. There are tourists who want to live the life our poor people are living. Our grassroots are living. Even with the bike which we call Okada. They want to have a feel of that. Even with the keke, they don't have it in their country. They want to have the experience of that. With the unsafe vehicle, congested passengers, you know, no leg rooms. They want to have the feeling of that. So they can have maybe a story to talk about, to write about, to report about. But this is a shameful thing if we cannot do any changes to modernization and have a proper transportation system wherein you have space, you have privilege, you have comfort, and you have system. When you have those buses that goes on time, get on time on the different stops that is being allocated. Then the changes passenger traveling we had here. They will adapt to the new system. So how we encourage the system of people who knows about transportation to start first of all going through the training procedures with the Golden Card transportation, which is merged with the international standards, and even with the revenue collection, it will merge because the more the staff are exposed to money, the higher the risks for corruption. So if you have a digital system or a system which people can pay without touching the money, or protective security system, how the money can be paid to bank and transaction from the Bank of Sierra Leone to international banks will be good. That will encourage our investors. The first question we ask is who pays for the loan? Who pay for the loan in Sierra Leone? It's not a big question because the customers are there and they are crying for numbers of buses, vehicles to ply on the road. People plying on those roads, they can afford their transportation. It's not a lift they are asking for.
Okay.
The other thing we can look at is security. How secure are these vehicles if you have them? Security system in Sierra Leone, that one is better than most of the areas I have traveled to. There is no hijacking habit in Sierra Leone with weapon or taking goods from vehicles. Of course, our security apparatus are on top of those situations. So operating in Sierra Leone is much more safer. The return of loan repayment is much more safer when you put a system in place that actually synergize with the local currency, with the international currency through the bank transaction. And I will urge all transportation company who want to invest, let them come. We'll be with them, we'll help them, and we are crying for them to come. Both air, both sea. For example, with the sea transportation, it's not a free port. It's not a free port. It's a free port. Guinea is a free port. Liberia is a free port. Liberia is a free port. It's not a free port. It's not a free port. We have these ECOWAS, facilities. We are not really using the ECOWAS in terms of business. So taking goods from Guinea to Sierra Leone, you should not have a hassle of customs. You should not have a hassle of customs and all ECOWAS country. Taking goods from Liberia to Gambia, you should not have a hassle. You should not have a hassle. At the moment, people rely on road transportation, which is much more expensive, which is much more dangerous. But when you have sea transportation that can take large goods and large passengers flying from Guinea, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Gambia, and that can be expanded upon. And with the flight schedules, that can be also triggered to one hub. So if you don't plane, travel with the sea. You can travel with the sea. If you don't travel on sea, you can have helicopter service. If you don't have helicopter services, you can have interland plane services. You can have West African plane services. You can have international plane services. The more competition into the country that is bringing tourists on low fare, you will have more tourists, and more the country will be rebranded. And people will talk about the beauty which Sierra Leone has, not being explored, and they are not enough to be into that business. But transportation will help with tourism, to bring tourism into the country.
I think we got that now. Eme, if you have more questions, you can ask before I come to the closing part.
Okay. So, so in a nutshell, this just be my final question. Okay, as a consultant, you have a lot of knowledge about the bus sector, bus transportation sector in Sierra Leone. What would be your top three advice from your point of view for any regional or international investor who wants to come in? What would be your top three advice for such a person or a group of persons?
First of all, the country is a virgin on transportation. That is something we're gonna hide. And for investors to come into the country, we have to strategize in three ways. Say our rebranding of Sierra Star buses are operating on 5 major routes with 95% on-time performance. 1,000 drivers have completed training and passes drug alcohol screening with union activity participation in our program. The reform is there also to make sure that the buses are secured. Maintenance culture should be there to make sure that the vehicles have been checked and maintained by drivers and by fitters or mechanics. And each of the buses that are going out should be roadworthy. In terms of revenue collection, you have to have a tighter system, an open, transparent system that you can see the generation of revenue on a daily basis, and how those money are paid into the bank with the bank alert into the system so that people know that today's operation all money collected are deposited in the bank. And with the bank, all transactions should take place, even with purchasing of parts, bringing in fuel thing, because fuel thing is another thing which is a very big lose. If you don't govern or put a system on fuel activity, it's on the increase. It's on the increase because fuel theft is on an increase. So you have to put control measures. You have to be having your day-to-day tracking system, your day-to-day monitoring system, your day-to-day customer care trainings and reporting system.
Okay, I think David wants to jump in. Okay, I think David wants to jump in. Control measures is very important. Control measures is very important. I think that's one of the good advice.
Yeah, let's try to round up, and if you don't have any more questions, Ime, can I go ahead?
No, yes, that's it. That's it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
let's look at the way forward. We have identified all these problems, but let's now look at the way forward. What immediate actions would save the most lives on our roads in Sierra Leone? In brief, let's go briefly, and so that we cover the remaining questions.
Okay, first of all, I will put that so it can be hard in most part in West Africa and in Sierra Leone in Pidgin English. First of all, when we want for law work properly, we forget replacement.
Let me go over the question again. What immediate actions would save the most lives in our roads? What actions?
Now there the council.
Okay.
The action is first of all the institution, the SLRs, therefore put measures in checking the vehicle for roadworthiness. If motor cannot fit for a road, then pull and come out. Number two, the police were able for check all vehicles, including the law enforcement officers for driver's license, vehicle license, insurance, vehicle fitness test, you know. And the third one is for take out all the unsafe vehicle off the road. But that can be a cry to the people that invest into transport system. For let them able bring more transport into Sierra Leone. When you have more transport into Sierra Leone, all of these measures for safe life will take place, including training of the driver, training of the workers, the staff, and training of the health and safety training to all staffs where they pertinent to the road transportation system.
So with that being said, how important is public education and road safety awareness?
It is very
It is
important
very important because passengers
in Sierra Leone
in
normally,
Sierra Leone
even when the
normally,
driver
even
is
when the
doing
driver
wrong,
is doing wrong,
dem go support
dem
am
go support am
because dem no know
because
say
they
na
no
their
know
own life
say na
dem dey
their
try
own
for
life dem dey
save
try
on
for
the road.
save on the road.
As far as dem dey
As
inside
far
dat
as dem dey
vehicle,
inside that
dem
vehicle,
become part
dem
and
become
parcel
part
of dat
and parcel
driver
of
in
that
bad
driver
habit.
in bad habit.
So if you
So
try
if
for
you
correct
try
dat
for
driver
correct
dey
that
say
driver, they say
wetin you dey do so e
wetin you
no
dey do
correct,
so e no
na
correct,
dem sef go
na dem
curse
sef
you
go curse
instead of
you
the
instead
driver.
of the driver.
So
So they
the
sent
road
the road
sensitization
sensitization
for
for
all health
all
and
health
safety
and safety
regulation, the
regulation,
rules
the
and
rules and
regulation. First
regulation.
of all, na the
First of all, na
public,
the public,
na im we for
na im we for
sensitize, for
sensitize,
let dem be
for
able
let them
buy
be
the
able buy
idea,
the idea,
dem know
they
wetin na
know
the
within
right,
are the right,
so that dem go
so that they
able
will be
for
able for
institute dem right
institute them
wey
right,
go help,
where go help,
and e go
and
bring
it will
in
bring
even
in
help
even
wey
help
the
where
law
the law
enforcement officers
enforcement
dem no
officers
dey.
they not
The
dey.
public
The
able
public
tell dem
able
right
tell them
say
right say
no, na
no,
this for
now
do,
this for do.
especially this
Especially this
halfway
halfway
operation.
operation.
Instead of dem do
Instead
the
of
full
them do
length,
the full
dem go
length,
tell you say
they
we
will
no
tell
dey
you
go
say we
far.
not they go far.
Na half and
Now
half
half and
transport
half
dem dey take,
transport them they
wey
take,
very
way
expensive
very
for people
expensive for
dem,
people
e
them,
very
a very
dangerous. So
dangerous.
police
So
for come
police
out,
for come
law
out,
enforcement
law
dem for come
enforcement them
out
for come
and
out
stop dat
and stop them
malpractice,
malpractice.
and so dat
And so
people dem
that
go get
people then go get
wetin dem dey pay
waiting then
for,
they pay for,
safety go dey in
safety go
place.
day in
And
place, and
also
also
I go
I
put this
go put
again to
this
the
again to the
SLRSA, when are
FLRA,
they
when are they
responsible for
responsible
road
for road
maintenance fund,
maintenance fund,
for let them
for let
utilize
them
that fund
utilize
for
that
save
fund
life
for
on the
save
road.
life on the road.
90% of the
90%
accident wey
where
dey
the
happen
accident
na
where they
Sierra Leone
happen at
now
Sierra Leone
na
now,
due to
now
road
due to road
damage,
damage
potholes, and
potholes, and
dem no dey spend the
they not
money
dey
there,
spend the money
and
there,
nobody no dey
and
for
nobody not
audit
there for
dem,
audit
or
them,
neither
or
control
neither
measures
control
dey in place.
measures they in place.
So dem
So
sidon per
then
dem
sit
money
down for
dem
them
dey,
money then
and the
day,
worker no
and the
going, but
worker
we are
not going,
losing
but we
life
are
on the
losing
daily
life on the
basis
daily basis
because health and
because health
safety
and
has not
safety
been
has not been
prioritized in
prioritized
Sierra Leone.
in Sierra Leone.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So how can communities play a role in road safety and emergency response? Because where accident then take place, now the community members and they go there first. So how can they play a role in road safety and emergency response?
First of all, the
First of all,
institution
the
therefore make am
institution therefore
open and
make am
educate the
open and
people
educate
through
the people
radio
through radio
program, through
program,
wetin we dey
through
do,
wetin we dey
social
do, so
media
social
program,
media
through
program,
television
through
program.
television
When you
program.
educate the
When you
people, dem
educate the
can go out
people,
and
they
know
can go
say
out and
when
know
such
say
thing
when
happen, this
such
na
thing
mirage,
happen, this
this
na
na for
mirage,
save life.
this na for save
Wetin
life.
occurring
Waiting
is when an
occurring
accident
is
occur
when an
on the road.
accident occur on the
Instead of
road.
dem save
Instead
people
of
their
them
life for
save
do the
people their
first
life
aid
for do the first
procedure,
aid
maybe that
procedure.
person dey, if you
Maybe
do
that
a
person
first aid
day, if you do
procedure
a first
wey
aid
dem training and
procedure,
dem
with them
can tell the
training and
public,
they can
and then
tell
they
the
train
public,
them,
and then they
dem go
train
save
them,
boku life.
then go save
But
Boku
wetin can
life.
happen, dem
But waiting
busy
can
dey take
happen, them
pictures,
busy, they take
videos,
pictures,
while that
videos.
person dey, e
Why
dey
that person
strain,
day, it
and
is
in life
strain,
dey go.
and in life
And
they
sometimes
go.
wey dis thing
And
happen,
sometimes
dem
when
dey
this
end
thing
up for
happen,
thief the
then they
demand
end
im
up for
property
thief
dem,
the demand
im
in
wallet,
property
im
them,
money, im
in
phone.
wallet, in money,
And
in phone.
sometimes it's
And
very very bad. So
sometimes it's
those
very,
things
very
get for
bad. So
go
those
out.
things get for
You
go
know, get
out.
people they know say
You
when
know, get
people then
people
get
they know say when
accident,
people then get
not to the
accident,
time if for
not to the
exploit
time
them.
if for
Now the
exploit
time
them.
where
Now
you
the
for
time where
sympathize with
you
them,
for
for give them
sympathize
help,
with them, for
for
give them
save
help,
life.
for save life.
And even the transport
And even
system,
the transport
they
system,
forget a
they
monitoring
forget a
system
monitoring
where they been
system
get before
where they
will
been
be
get before will be
small for
small for
payment or
payment
cost.
or
But
cost.
this not there
But
again.
this not
All
there
man they
again.
charge
All
I
man they
want.
charge I
From
want.
here
From
to
here
junction,
to
I go pay
junction,
per this
I go pay
motocar
for this
10 million.
motocar 10
For the
million.
same
For the
junction,
same
I go sit down on
junction, I
top
go sit down on
motorbike, I
top
pay 30
motorbike, I pay
million.
30
For the
million.
same up
For the same
junction,
up
I go sit
junction,
down
I
on
go sit
inside
down on
motocar, I pay
inside
50
motocar, I pay
million.
50
So
million.
price
So
control
price
not dey
control
at
no
all na
dey
the
at
country.
all na the
This na
country.
one bad
This na
sickness
one bad
wey I
sickness
think say we
where
dey
I
call
think say we
upon
dey call
for let
upon
them create
for let
that
them create
institution
that
wey been dey institution wey been dey before wey dey monitor price control all over the country so that people dem go get the best out of the small money wey dem dey get.
Okay, I get two more questions for you, and I will appreciate if you make them very short. In one sentence, What is your vision for a safer and more efficient road transport system in Sierra Leone?
The vision is to rebrand the entire transport system to international standards.
Okay, if the government, this will be my last question, but I go get one question for myself before you go, okay? If the government were listening right now, what one bold decision should it take to fix Sierra Leone's road transport system?
First of all, the one bold step government for do is for able help the people the way they inside transport system like Sierra Star, where they're well recognized for support them all throughout, support them for financial support for let them get more fleet, or government can get more fleet, hand them over to them for run am, and also government can give them the facility wey the government buses dem get when dem dey go through checkpoint, for able for stop delay on the road. Government will also help with the police for make sure say those companies are protected, so that dem get priority over some things wey e go encourage investors dem for camp, and the health and safety thing government can help with that also.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Kpakoi. And my last question is for our guest there. Um, if you were to help in this situation, all the questions that you have asked, what would you like to do to salvage the situation in Sierra Leone?
So what I'd like
So
to
what
do
I'd
is
like to do
to
is
create
to
more
create more
awareness to
awareness
the
to the
rules of opportunities there.
there.
I recently wrote
I
an
recently wrote an
article
article
about
about
10
10
innovative
innovative
transport
transport
companies across
companies across
Africa.
Africa.
And it ranged
And it
from
ranged from
digitalized
digitalized
platforms to
platforms
improve
to improve
ticketing
ticketing
to going
to
green on
going green on
buses.
buses.
I think Sierra
I
Leone
think
is a
Sierra Leone is
country
a
of
country of
immense
immense
opportunity,
opportunity,
and
and
the
the
more
more
awareness we
awareness we
create,
create
that will
that
attract
will attract
investors from
investors
near and
from near
wide
and wide
to look
to look
inwards
inwards
and see
and
how they
see
can
how they
partner
can
with
partner with local
firms
firms
to
to
how
see
to
how
harness
to
the
harness the
immense
immense
opportunities
opportunities
across
across
the
the
length and
length and
breadth
breadth
of
of
Syria.
Syria.
Do you see yourself in future doing something similar to that?
Definitely,
Definitely,
I do
I
see
do see
myself playing a
myself playing a
role
role
as
as
trying
trying
to
to
uh,
uh,
create more
create more
awareness
awareness
through
through
various
various
means,
means,
and this is
and this is
something
something
I want to
I
look
want
at
to
more
look at more
closely.
closely.
Okay, we have come to the end of this broadcast, and I want to thank both of you very, very much. And I hope this will not be the only one that we have. Let's have a follow up on this as well. And I'm seeing there are people watching us right now. 10 in, I think 11 people are watching us live. So if we have such opportunities, we can educate our people, we can suggest alternative ways to our government, and we ourselves as citizens will play a role, a positive role. We shouldn't just be complaining all the time. We provide tangible solutions so that we help our stakeholders to move on and develop our country. And I want to thank all the viewers that are viewing us right now. And I also want to thank my subscribers and those of you that are subscribers of Frank Talk. Thank you all for watching us, and thank you all for everything. Provide your comments, share this message, and then also sorry about that. Share this message, and then we can continue. Thank you very, very much, and good night.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very
Good
much.
night.
Good night.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.